Hi, good evening, Saman. Jani, shall we start the session now?
Hi, sure. Thanks, Niroshi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We warmly welcome all of you to our fourth session on our webinar series on assisting you to start up your own practice. So in today's session, we are going to talk about one of the highly relevant administrative functions to your own startup, which is secretarial work. And mostly we would cover about the practical aspects of the function. So today we have a humble gentleman with us who is also an eminent and a profound speaker and who has had his own experience in this particular area, who could guide you through the challenges that you might face in terms of the secretarial practice. I'm sure you would learn a lot in today's session and expecting you to get all your gray areas clarified related to secretarial practice. Please have your questions sent to us to the chat box below. So without further ado, let me welcome our speaker for the day, Mr. Saman Srilal, the Managing Partner at RTA Sri Lanka and Council Member of CA Sri Lanka. Mr. Saman Srilal, over to you.
Thank you, Jani. Thank you for your kind introduction. And really happy working continuously with you as the moderator for the continuous second session. And good evening, all members, and really happy that you are logging in irrespective of issues we have and things are happening around in the country. I can see more than 100 already joined. Really happy, and I can see you are really interesting and on the subject. So with the initiation of our new chairman for the Members Relation Committee, Tishan Subasinghe, and wanted to educate our members. From a long time, he was expecting to do this whole process, taking different kinds of topics which are really relevant to the members who are in the practice, and also non-practice. Really relevant all these things because our members need to shine themselves representing our institute. So friends, I will take you through today, as Jani correctly mentioned, secretarial practices which I have come across, and also the things are happening at the moment and the difficulties we are facing, and you need to concentrate. And the mushrooms of company secretarials advisors are coming in the market, and there are a lot of YouTubes in the market and consultation. With all these things, I'm really happy members are increasing to as participants. So let's start without further delay. And at the beginning, I would say, you know everyone how to incorporate a company, and how to take it up a company, and how to file forms, and how you need to work as a company secretary. So there are a lot of areas where you have not seen, which I'm going to take you through today. According to my experience, I believe that it will be very important and useful for your practice, and also at the end we will be able to answer some questions. So I'll be covering a small introduction about who is a company secretary, and also some qualifications. There are now today, because of EROC, electronic media we are using, so we need to have some basic qualifications, and also the academic, and always there, and the responsibilities among us, and liabilities, also some fines and penalties. I know some of the company secretarial or our friends, actually what they do incorporate companies and they move away, and thereafter they don't know what happened to that company. So but there are a lot of responsibilities being a company secretary, which we need to look into, and we need to concentrate as a professional. So and some of the forms which are really significant for the whole process. I'm not quite sure whether I will be able to complete all, although I have listed here. but I'll run through with you, and also during the Q&A, we can have discussions. Then introduction, actually company secretary is actually quite very respectable position, a senior position, and it's he or she may be a compliance officer and administrator. If article says otherwise, the company directors or the board of directors can decide whether the appointment and the removal. This laid down in section 221 in the Companies Act. And we know that there are a lot of company secretaries are there in the market, but you need to understand, are they really secretaries? You know why I share experience at the beginning. You know, for an instance, now some of the companies, they want to, put up a company and they want to incorporate, and they go through the EROC, and they are trying to get the login, and after that they are asking and calling and asking, gentlemen, I will give you an appointment as auditors of the next year, and can I make you as a company auditor, you know? So you need to actually, as a relationship and also the friendship, you may say that, yes, okay, go ahead. I will, with that, business arrangement, you feel that, okay, he will come back and he will give me the business. You may say that, okay, go ahead and you can take me as a company secretary. You can take me as a company auditors. Likewise, I don't think that it is a very wise decision you to give offhand, even for your friend, even for a company, even for a company who is actually really doing well, right? Because you don't know exactly what he is going to do and what are the areas he is going to do the business. Now there are some gazette notifications, there are some businesses which are not permitted to do businesses, there are some businesses which may not be able to do. So therefore you must be very careful, friends, that when you give your details to someone who is very good friend, or company secretaries directly call you because of your friend has told company director to talk to you and get the details. So therefore you must be very careful when you get the details, you being a listed or registered company secretary in the registrar of company, and also you are maybe practicing chartered accountant holding practicing certificates, and you might run an audit firm, and they will take your details, and they will carry on their process, and they will go in their business, but you are the regulator in that company. So we must be very careful, friends, when you give your details when they ask. Then basic qualifications. We know that basic qualification, we all company secretaries, very respectable characters, and as I explained at the beginning, communication skills, computer literacy. Now these are essential things today. You know, when come to the EROC, if you don't know how to work out with the company computers, you may not be able to. You may argue that, no, I can have a computer clerk in my office and I can have that and this thing. Then you need to give your password and the usernames for them, and they need to work on behalf of you. So you must be very careful all these things when you use and when you share your responsible things to other officers or who are not really known about the gravity of the responsibility. So therefore you must be very careful, and I advise always you to be learn all these things when you are in practice and you run the show. Maybe you may say that someone, then it's not possible to run a business. I understand, but always try to have a control over it. Although I am a practitioner, but I always look at how the market is doing. So therefore share the knowledge in the business, the practitioners who are in the market, others, and get their knowledge and get their experience. Always discuss. I'm always open to everyone in the market, all the friends. Some of the friends actually calling and asking someone this thing, how you do, how this can be done. And other friends also might share with you. So therefore, please always discuss among the friends and get the details how we are going to share your knowledge and share your confidential information with the office staff and all these information. So sound of English knowledge, yes. Definitely you need to have the very good English knowledge. You need to be able to interpret and you need to be able to read and understand. And unless you read and understand, some are actually having a practice of going through the singular Companies Act, also English Companies Act together. It's a very good habit, but you must be very careful when you fill up forms. When you fill up forms, you must be very careful and refer always the English Act as well. That actually an experience, but for the knowledge purpose, it's good to keep you single act as well, but always make sure that you get yourself understand 2-3 times reading about the English Act. So abilities of the organization and also good personality, character. I'm running through these very simple things, but I need to highlight some of the areas like, character. What do you mean character? Character meaning that, if a company, like let's say it's a foreign company, overseas company, they bring those details. And yesterday also I had a I think 1.5 hour webinar, sorry, not webinar, actually telephone conversation with one of the Indian client. He wants to know how Sri Lanka, the Sri Lanka process of transfer of shares, and how the shares is issuing, and what is the procedure, and what is the banks are, how banks are helping. What do you mean the IIA account, and why SIA has come to now IIA. So likewise, there are a lot of information they are asking. So you must be a big having a very good personality and also character to convince the client. If you can't convince the client, they don't trust you. They don't believe you. So therefore, you will lose sometimes your business, and they will go for someone else. So therefore, these aspects you need to maybe knowledge about the company secretarial, you can learn, and you can ask and understand and share the knowledge and get the things done, right? Like ourselves in the market, always we can share our knowledge. But when you come to talk to them, and when you give the confidence to them, that must be that is a very important aspect, that how you are going to handle the client, how you are going to tackle the client. That is very important, because they are asking, are you aware? Are you, because sometimes they have read more than you. Can you believe that? Then they know that the contents of the Foreign Exchange Act, the contents of the Gazette of this our 2213, the limitations of some of the foreign businesses which they can perform in Sri Lanka. So likewise, they are well aware of all these things. They read all these things and come to you. So therefore, you must be very careful when you deal with a foreign client, and also some of the very intelligent client you are going to receive. So therefore, the personality and the character, and also the sound general knowledge about the central bank regulations. Now, for an instance, recently I signed some, being the fellow chartered accountant, we can sign some of the investment in overseas. So you must be thorough on all these aspects. What are the areas you need to concentrate? Because at the end of the day, your company secretary, directors of the company or the board come and ask from you, can you go through and can you sign for me this? You can't sign immediately. Although you have so many those academic and all these qualifications you have, you must be very careful how we are going to sign. You need to read, you need to understand, you need to go through the Security Exchange details, you need to go to the Stock Exchange details, you need to go through the Companies Act, you need to go through the guidelines of the Foreign Exchange Act, you need to go through the central bank regulations, you need to go through the respective the bank. For an instance, some of the bank, they have their own way of doing the resolutions, although you have a proper way of doing resolution. So you must follow their pattern. Then you need to understand whether the bank resolution included essential part or the compulsory or the mandatory requirement, whether included in the particular resolution. Because some of the banks, they only 2-3 lines you need to sign. You have, I think, more than me, some of the banks, how they are coming and asking resolution, opening up bank accounts, debt moratorium, and also some of the transactions, huge transaction, maybe the special purpose transaction. Then you need to follow this procedure. So therefore, you must be very careful, although you have these qualifications academic or otherwise, you must be very careful when you engage into a business, whether you will be able to handle the particular client or not. Just incorporating a company is not adequate. You as a businessman, you need to retain the business. You need to maintain the client. For that, you need to have specific knowledge. Therefore, there are a lot of courses and all these you can go through. You need to follow the instructions. You need to read the Companies Act. You need to go through the contents in the act, and you need to perform yourself. So therefore, there are a lot of questions can arise in this area. At very initial engagement, you need to concentrate whether the particular client you can accept or I don't say reject, accept, but you must be very careful whether you are quite competent to give the service to the particular client. Now, some of the cases, some of the companies, they give because of you need to get the details of the company address, email address, contact numbers, then the shareholders details, then the directors details, identity card, and this thing, residential address, all these things. You must be very, very careful with how the accurate, how valid those information. So therefore, not only one information, you go through some other alternative informations as well, because you are going to get the responsibility over all these incorporation, and after that, when they perform the business, you are responsible. You being the the person who gave the birth certificate to the company to perform. So therefore, you must be very careful, my dear friends, when you incorporate a company, not like those mushrooms of companies and also mushrooms of incorporators are around in the market at a very cheap, very reasonable price they are doing. I have seen some of the companies are incorporating even 20,000. I have seen. I don't know how they are going to do incorporate in 20,000, 25,000. What is the role behind of it, and what are the qualifications behind of it? So you must be very careful when you do this type of very responsible job. Why I say this company secretariat is very much our friends, lawyers. Actually, they are actually doing. And we are able to also do, being the chartered accountants and also the associate chartered member of the associate of chartered administrators. There are qualifications I have laid down here. So my question and my simple request is, you don't take these as a very simple business or simple job. I can see in the market it has come to a trend where easily can incorporate because of this EROC matter, and all these things, details can be borrowed from someone and put into the document and do the process. And therefore, when you share your information, you must be very careful, my dear friends, before you give the details to your friend or whoever. Must be very careful. You can say, yes, we need to develop SME, someone, you are going here and there and giving instructions. Agree, but get the details, get the meetings, get the discussion going on, and have the understanding. Go and meet the directors, go and see the people who are going to incorporate. What are the business they are going to put up in the country, and what is the overseas operations they are going to do? Where is the branch they have, and what is who are the owners of the branches they are having? Have they really incorporated a company in overseas before they come and put up a branch here in Sri Lanka? Likewise, you need to go through in these details in detail. I don't have time to take you through all these things when come to the incorporation, but I need to share my total experience with you. This is not a process of just incorporate a company. You are a senior position of a company, compliance officer, administrator, and there are so many definitions you can bring to the picture. So therefore, you must be very, very careful when you incorporate a company, not to just to having forms to fill and apply, and the following day the name approval came, and after that the company incorporation done. So I am very happy the company is incorporated. You charge a small fee and get that fee and go away. And it's like I can't say some of the practitioners are doing some of the businesses like that. Per day they have incorporated 50 companies. Per day they have incorporated 20 companies. So likewise, don't do that. This is a very respectable job. This is a very respectable business. You must be maintain that with all the qualification what you have gained, maintain it and teach them, educate them, people who are doing it, and let them to know that what is the gravity and what is the responsibility upon over these things. So the responsibilities are what we were discussing: the ensure procedure, appointment of directors, whether the appointment is properly carried out. Then the induction, directors always advise directors if they want the training, you can give the training to the directors. Some of the directors, they don't have specific signatures as well, especially when it comes to the SME sector, they don't have specialized specific signatures to place in. So these things you need to actually educate. We are actually in an era of promoting our SME sector, so therefore you need to educate them. And also comprehensive practical support, guidance for non-executive directors. Some of the directors actually, they don't know how to put up a meeting, and what are the forms need to complete, what are the notices, how to prepare an agenda. So these things you need to help them. And also some of the information what they really want, you need to tell them, I need to teach them. Then the board, in compilation of the board papers, you have the responsibility to compliance and the required to maintain the good governance. Sometimes the companies, I have seen the meetings are starting not the time actually it has stated in the agenda, but after that, but maintain that governance in place, and also maintain the confidentiality. I need to highlight again here, going back to the second slides. When you come to a company, it's a sort of a marriage as a secretary, although it is an appointment. You need to maintain all these companies' confidential information. They are going to disclose everything for you, right? So you must be very, very careful whether you will be able to maintain those confidentiality. If you can't maintain this confidentiality, I can see some of the cases. Those clerk also know clerk in the companies, they know who is the director, who is that person, this person, and all, where they are, the family background, family details, all this. Understand, clerk should know, because they are the supporters of you. But you must be handle that. You educate your officers in the office. I'm sorry to say clerk, the word officers. Let's say officers, educate them. When there is a meeting, or at least when there is a meeting, you to run the meeting, not to actually them to come and elaborate on behalf of you at the boardroom or at the audit committee meeting, right? Or the related parties meeting. You take the upper hand. You take that responsibility. Don't allow then the board of directors feel that this girl also knows about all my details. There is no harm. They are the staff of employees of your company, but maintain that the reputation, confidentiality. This is purely sharing knowledge among ourselves, right? Please understand that. So maintain that confidentiality, and also win the directors, win the new people who have come to the board or come to the audit committee meeting or the related party meeting. So you get that they are confidence to you, and okay, someone is maintaining everything, only someone is answering some of the questions. You see, although those other girls are not actually knows those things, they are not answering in that meeting. Someone is also responding those questions. So that confidence, they know, and they feel it. Okay, my all informations are within the parameters, within the framework. So I'm very happy getting the service from these type of organizations. That confidence you need to carry, my friends. So then the regulatory aspects, when you come to the BOI, when you go to the to sign agreements for the tripartite agreements, you may get called when some of the property development companies, when those type of companies, tripartite agreements, they will call you, can I have someone to go and sign my documents? And then the board need to decide who is going to go there. So the company secretaries, board will say that, okay, our managing director is coming, someone, can you send someone? Don't send a director you have in your company, just who may not be able to convince you about your business, who may not be able to discuss like you, to maintain the PR. You always try to build up the relationship, try to gain a business at any point where you come across opportunity arise. You try to get that opportunity to enjoy that opportunity. Why I say I have seen some of the representative for the AGM, small girls and boys who are audit trainees. Can they answer those questions raising by the shareholders or the directors or the other people in that board meeting? They are not in a position to answer. So why we are actually sending those small staff? I have come across a lot. Then I question from them, Buddha, where are we called the sir at the office? So do you have a checklist if they ask these questions, what you are going to answer? Like we help ourselves to those auditors or the company secretary staff, because of why those staff, the members or the staff who are who are present at the AGM, they are not being able to answer questions. They are very, I don't say disappointed. Board of directors, board of directors also trying to safeguard. No, our company secretaries has some other arrangements, so therefore they are representing even the agreement signing, even any other important things when the other companies managing directors are coming. Make sure that, my dear friends, you being the managing director or the head of the secretarial business, you being present in front of these people and get your letter of authority done, signed, and go and present yourself and dress yourself very nicely. I can see some of the members who are coming to the signing agreements. I can't say actually they are the company secretary, they are representing chartered accountant, cannot. Their dress code is actually utterly bad sometimes. So you must be very careful. This is what I said at the beginning. I'm sharing experience. I'm not going to go through in detail about the companies act, but they say I'm going to share the experience which I have come across here. So therefore, you must be very careful when you when you go into the market, maintain your business, maintain your professionalism, maintain your personal relationship with the people, try to capture the opportunity, try to grab the opportunities. Therefore, you will be able to convince, you will be able to talk to the people where you need really a business done, then the job done, then the job done within the ethical framework. And when they ask, you are really updated, you know what has happened yesterday. Some of the directors in the board meeting or audit committee meeting, they are starting with what has happened yesterday, newspapers, but the company secretaries representatives are not being able to respond, and they are just somewhere in the corner. No, you need, this is a very good opportunity, my dear friends, you to bring up your business up. This is a good opportunity you to expand, explore yourself in the market, and then they will talk, oh wow, these are the people we need to the business, these are the people we need to be our company secretaries, the company auditors. So this is how you need to look into these aspects. There, why I little go in detail. I have gone a lot of tripartite agreement signing, and also the audit committees representatives, and also the related party meetings. I am very sorry, my dear friends, who someone is there, that person just send it to the meeting, but you have lost lot of image, lot of trust, lot of confidence at that meeting. Better you not to send those people who are not actually quite capable, who are not actually quite updated. So you must be very careful on these aspects, friends. So then the company business responsibilities, I explained about the due regards, then they assist with the implementation of corporate strategies. Yes, now some of the directors of the company, being the company secretary, they expect your ethics, they expect from you for the business ethics, they expect from the company governance, they expect from you to put in the regulatory compliance. All these things the company or the business, they expect from you, and it is a sort of a responsibility you have as well. Some of the meetings, it is going on, but you have seen those meetings going on, but there is no proper agenda. and there is no proper flow of information to the directors. There is some of the directors have mentioned that they are coming, but they are not coming, and no evidence or no apologies has sent to the directors meeting or the board meeting, and the companies having plenty of issues where they need to put in the governance in place. So these things actually, when you get into the business, not to actually, as I said, incorporating a company and a company for 20,000 or 25,000 and run away. No, there are opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of things you should do in the company, and there are a lot of role you need to perform yourself in the company. You should work on these areas, not actually the regulator, not actually as only a regulator, not actually as a compliance officer. You have big role to perform in the company. You know, looking at the Companies Act, looking at the forms which is coming after putting relevant information, it will come through the website, those information, or the ROC. The forms should be completed. Those can be completed, get the sign and fill it up and put it to the process. It will process. If you know someone, you can call them and talk to them and say, this and that thing, and we need to urgent. Then they will also, because of your relationship and trust and confidence, they will do that. Not this is what I'm trying to say. This is the company secretarial work. Okay, first, that is the first work. But beyond that, there are a lot of things you should perform. There are a lot of activities they are expecting, our business people, especially when you come to the, I go around in the country meeting a lot of company owners, or also proprietors, also partnership or the partners, where they really need to incorporate a company, to convert into a limited liability company, but still they are running as a limited sole proprietorship. Still they are running as a partnership. Still they are running as some other, business joint venture or some other. But you should be able to create a business and give them the rules and regulation. Give them what are the contents in the Companies Act. Let them to have their responsibilities updated, let them to get their informations updated, and tell them, explain them what are the benefits making incorporate a company, what are the benefits from the tax point of view. You should be able to convince the directors. You should be able to answer the questions they ask. Therefore, you should be updated yourself. So even recently we met Matara, out of 12 SMEs, actually there are 8 or 9, 4 or 5 already registered as limited liability company. Other 3-4 companies, actually they wanted to, after I explained, they wanted to incorporate a company as a limited liability company. So I selected from some of the few SMPs in the Matara side, then also the Cole, and also Ambalangoda side. I told, okay, friends, these are the owners of the company. Please give a call and incorporate these companies and talk to them and maintain their businesses. And you be in the company secretary from today onwards and assist them. This is how you need to develop, business relationship. So all these things to the company and business. Then the shareholders, you need to communicate to the shareholders. There are some interested parties. Some of the meetings, you really need those interested parties to the shareholders meeting or directors meeting. You need to give a telephone call and make them available at the meeting. You need to be, you don't think that it is a company's responsibility. I don't want to be the company secretary to do those things. No, not that way. Make sure, use your common sense, make sure knowledge, and bring them to the board meeting. Let them to talk, right? They will talk to you. They will talk to the progress of the company. They will talk to the performance. They will talk what has happened previously and where the company should go ahead. When the company is growing, it's good for you, my dear. It's good for you and good for the society, good for the country, good for the shareholders, good for the employees. So let those shareholders to come to the meeting. Let those directors to come to the meeting and give us a small phone call, give a WhatsApp message, and ask them to come and present yourself and allow them to discuss the issues and also the points what we have laid down a previous meeting and what are the contents of the agenda, and try to drive the business. Drive the business. So it's a big role where the people or the directors will be very happy, which we are not doing at the moment. So therefore, you must understand these things actually not actually part of parcel of the company secretaries, but as a part as parcel of responsibilities in practice. Then actually they know that, okay, this person is very good giving value addition to the business. It's good. He is maintaining very good governance in our business. He is maintaining very good ethical framework in our business. We should continue with them. They are not going away. Some of the companies, some of the businesses, some of our SMPs are complaining. I may not be able to convince, and you will get the business. And because of why? You are not giving out, you are not thinking out of the box and go and give your assistance. You don't spend your time. You always think about money and also traveling and the time spent. No, do some additional work. Do some, business promotional work for the company. Business promotional in the sense, not your business, but also promotion for the business, the products, what they are doing. Call, if you know the knowledge about some of the businesses, add your knowledge to the production manager and also directors and the production meeting, and also some of the monthly financial meeting. Tell them, can I attend to the meeting, and may I be able to give some inputs for your business to run, because they are struggling to find loan taken. Maybe sometimes our chartered accountant also there, but you can also, with the friendly discussion with your friends, and give some additional points them to come out from these issues. This is what we need to. So then the lights is going on and the things are very nice. Our company secretaries is like this. Our company is not only signing forms, not only publishing application forms, they are giving some additional information for us to run the business as well. What else they need? Do you think that other people can do this? Do you think that our other who are qualified for the company secretaries can do these type of things? We will be able to do that. So therefore, go and do that. Those type of businesses, not only the signing forms and holding AGMs, holding the filing annual returns and all these things, but think about the business point of view and do yourself to promote the business, to bring your business, in the sense company's business, bring your client up. Make them happy, make them their financial liabilities. They can, some of the secretaries, they don't. I'm very sorry to say this, because I have received calls. The solvency test, they are asking, does it really need to sign by the directors of the company, the directors' declaration? So we must be able to, we have the circular, we have when we issue the dividends, we need to check, we should check the dividend solvency status, and we need to get the approval done. Then only we will be able to run this business well. Then we will be able to show your character, as I explained at the beginning. So shareholders, you need to convince that primary point of contact to the shareholder, corporate governance, and all these things. Then the company business, due regard to the specific business company, assist implementation, corporate strategies. I think I went through this. Then actually I'm running through, the time is very limited, and we have now 4:30 we need to finish it, and we need to give time for the Q&A. Facilitating smooth operation of the company, board meeting, and organizing board committee meetings, schedule. Now, for an instance, let's say some of the, let's say associates may request from you to call the AGA. Associates, I can't say some of the names, but associates. They ask you to hold the AGA. You ask you to hold the board meeting. I know some of my colleague friends, actually, they don't know how to hold the AGA. They don't know how to hold the board meeting. It's very pathetic. So if you don't know, friends, don't tell to the directors, don't tell to the board of directors. Talk to ourselves, talk to among friends, get the details, talk to them and ask them what are the notices should be sent, how you need to prepare the agenda. It's true, it is in the Companies Act, it's laid down everything, agree, but make sure that it should be practical. You should be able to do that preparation, and make sure that within the notice period you issue the notices. Make sure that audited accounts will come to you to send being the auditors, you allow auditors to do audited finance statement, you being the secretaries, you wait aside to after preparing documents, you don't follow it up. The auditors have taken time. Auditors may have not actually gone through in detail that the company secretaries are waiting to send the minutes and the AGM notes to the shareholders, and they don't know, they are not aware, and you are just keeping quiet, and the time has gone, and the board has decided the AGM should be held this day, and the due notices are not going. So you must be very careful, my dear friends. Coordinate. Go talk to the auditors, get their details, follow it up. If they have come across any issues, when you are very closely relationship with the directors of the board, right, you assist auditors. Sometimes auditors are may not relationship like you with the directors or the board. You may have more relationship with the board, so assist, because end of the day it's a collective effort. AGM should hold for the company. So therefore, you help the directors of the auditors get the details, and if there are outstanding information, and call for the audit committees, call for the audit committee meetings with the chairman, and you organize the meeting and tell auditors to come and present and appreciate auditors. Okay, my dear friends, you have done your service well done, and we are very happy we managed to have our audit committee meeting on time and the AGM as a result, you know. But sometimes the secretaries not known, even the auditors. I'm very unfortunate to tell you that, not known the auditors, and not talking to the auditors who are actually partners and also in the same panel and the same association. No, so these things should not happen. This is what actually I want to share with my all experience. You being the company secretary should be able to handle entire business with the help of board of directors, with the managing director, with the overseas directors, with the BOI, with the central bank, with the banks. You should be able to handle on behalf of the company. Don't think about the fees. Fees will come behind you. Fees will come behind you. If you perform well, if you maintain your, if my friends were there in my first one, those 5, if you maintain properly, the money will come. The rich, you will be rich, not to worry about that. Your staff will be rich, your staff will be knowledgeable. So those things, don't think about, no, we get only so much. Why should I maintain the board meeting? Why should I, if I buy envelope and all these things and the papers and all notices, my computer, talk to them, the board of directors, educate them. You must be able to convince how we are going to handle and what are the costs, and talk to them. Don't put high fees and don't put very thumping figures to them to give you, have the relationship, continue the business. While you are continuing, you are getting year by year more businesses, more attractive, appreciations. These are the value, for the service you are providing. So therefore, maintain the relationship. This is really important. Not to actually as just a typical company secretaries. No, some of the secretaries, you need to be there on time, otherwise secretary is not there. You need to come back. I have really experiencing, because I have branch in Polonnaru and Karunagala. When I go there to, our directors are, some of the directors, they want me to be also present, although I'm not a director, but I be the, group person, they want me to be there. But they asking, okay, what is the time? Now time is 10:30, but we were there from 10:20, 10:25. Now giving a call, okay, I have a court case, I may not be able to come, and therefore we will be postponed. And they are very nice. Some of the people, they are sending representatives. So it is very nice, to get the things done. But some of the cases we have seen, we need to, since the company secretaries are not there, we are turning back. Especially when you come to the signing of those agreements, they are not. Therefore, we need to maintain our punctuality. The meeting is time fixed at 10:30, and it is only for the signature, nothing for. Nothing, anything else, any discussions and all, nothing. Only place your signature and you need to come back. So therefore, what you should do, my dear friends, you should be there on time. Otherwise, it's wasting time, everyone, right? I remember once at acquisition of a business, we performed the due diligence, and then they came up. All were there, but the company secretary was not there. So what do you mean about the acquisition of a company, signing documents in the bank and all if the company secretary is not there in time? No, because they are the main actor of that whole process. So therefore, you must be able to convince the board and meetings, and also convince the directors and the papers, and also some of the understanding. You need to be able to convince, and you need to be able to coordinate with your board of directors, and also board meeting and other shareholders meeting and general meetings. And then the general meeting. One other thing that you forget, to the shareholders to tell that although they are not there, the proxy statement, some of the documents, proxy statement is not there. It means it is so what they are going to do? They cannot appoint a proxy, so therefore they are in absence. So then these are actually very huge black mark, so you should not actually do that. You need to be able to see that before you send papers, whether all these information, whether all these forms are available in the set of documents, and read the article of association, see whether any other provisions in the article of association, when there is no director, when there is no shareholder, how they can actually represent on behalf of them. Now, then the meeting maintained, next board meeting, and also article of association I explained, then the draft incorporated amendments. That's another important thing. Now, companies, they need to alter the article of association. Now, in practice, in my practice, our practice, what we say, we actually maintain a relationship with our directors and also the shareholders, email conversation. It is in writing. We always tell them to, if you need a article change or a board meeting or whatever, they should drop an email. We are not doing on phone calls. You must be very careful. You must be very careful. On phone calls, we are not going to do that. Even the WhatsApp messages, we are not going to do that. We are asking a proper email, and that email get a printout, because when at the end of the day, everything is when going to sign, they say, I told this way, that way, this thing, then lot of confusions. You should not get misunderstanding. You should not get confrontation. You should not get arguable discussion. No, you should not make any debate at the presence of other directors at the boardroom. So therefore, you must be able to get an email, and write email, and after that you reply, after you prepare the form, send back to them and see whether you have done what they are expecting, and then only you will form the documents, because you need to feed thereafter to the system. Then you need to get the forms out. So then the printed version will come, and you need to get the signatures sometimes. I used to get the signatures from the directors, each and individual, although we have the scanned signatures of the directors. We get, because we want them to aware. We want them to, because sometimes only the company personal assistant only know sometimes. Other people don't know. The accountant doesn't know what has happened, and the other board members doesn't know what has happened. So therefore, we used to get the signatures, and after that only we get the things uploaded to the system. There we have a mechanism. If I share your experience, we send the invoice also simultaneously. You may also send the invoice at that time, maybe. So maintain your business also in updated. Sometimes some of the friends are complaining, someone how much we do work, someone how much we give service, we don't get our recoveries done. Yes, even I have a lot of recoveries outstanding, but especially when you come to the company secretarial work and also some other professional work, try to get this diplomatically, this business arrangement also nicely. Once after you prepare, all convince, all discussions, all meetings done, after when you send the documents, send your invoice also along with that. What's wrong with that? So then get the check also, get it, and you process the uploading. So then your business also can go into a successive rate. Not only after you sometimes say, after I need to follow it up, and all they don't pay and all these things, complaints will be minimized. Then reports, accounts, you know that auditors, I will take you through in that slides. 415, coordinate with internal, 515, advisor. 415, sorry, advisors when reports specified in the Companies Act, attending shareholders communication, issuing share certificates. Yeah, now you know there are some practitioners or the company secretaries. The share certificates have not issued. I have seen no share certificates, but they have more than 100, 200, sometimes 50, sometimes 4-5 shareholders, but no share certificates. It is easily can be done. So there are ways of doing these things now, because of this print electronic media now has developed very nice outputs. So you need to issue share certificates. I have seen that those things actually not done. And also some of the, you know, I have seen the shareholders listing not maintained. Company secretaries are not maintained the shareholders. Registers are there. This register all blank, not updated at all. When the auditors comes, only they sometimes update if they request, or if there is a due diligence, only they update. So therefore, you need to maintain updated records, and the listing is very, very important, and it is one of our a big responsibility to maintain the shareholders listing in our format, right? Then the maintaining the following registers, you know that registers, and also you know that the filing the returns, and I took you through appointment, removal, resignation, and yeah, then the corporate governance. I explained about the corporate governance we need to maintain, and this is our utmost responsibility to maintain the governance of about the company. If we are not in a position to do that, actually I don't know who is going to do that. So that is one. And the corporate governance, necessary disclosures on related parties. Even after the preparation of accounts by the auditors, get from the directors and try to read and understand and see whether before signing, because you are going to hold the meeting, approve the accounts, just go through that contents of that related party disclosures, and are those lined with the requirement. Just see that what's wrong with that. If we cannot go through, why we cannot go through this information and update and safeguard our directors and the shareholders of the company. So we can do that, and also make sure that listing requirement are rules and listing rules whether complied with, and also the stock exchange requirement. See these things whether it is in line with that. Don't think that we are only responsible this thing, that thing, and we are not. Actually, that is their responsibility. These are not responsibility. No, my dear, no. So you need to understand this is our total responsibility of the company secretaries. Responsibility. You can say no, someone that should be done by someone else, and we are not paid for these things. No. Don't talk like that. Payments and all. Make sure that right information is going out from the company's premises. That is what really, really, really important. Okay, I can see questions are jumping and building up. I don't have much time. Give me another 2-3 minutes. I need to take you through statutory. We have the liabilities. Those liabilities are two components: statutory liabilities and contractual liability. This is actually 2-3 days session. When you come to the company secretaries share in the practice experience, there are a lot. But you see liabilities of a company secretary, statutory liabilities, contractual liabilities, failure to file the statutory document with ROC, failure to maintain statutory register, for default holding annual. No, these things actually when these are not done, some of the businesses coming to you, some of the companies they have not done, don't panic those clients. You know, some of the our company secretaries I have seen, when the directors come to you, someone, I have not done this thing, that thing, this thing, you know, they think that it is a violation. Yeah, true, it's a violation, it's not complied with the laws and all, but there are sections where it says that some are fines and penalties, some are not fines and penalties. You can go through. You must be educated enough, you must be knowledgeable enough to educate them and take the business and comply quickly. My good friends are here. in my office, actually my office directors, they take them and they put into the right track very nicely, very fast. So, it is quite good, and they earn money also in the day. So, it's a good business strategy. Don't make them, they are coming to you to, sort it out issues. But what you do, end of the day, oh, you have not done this thing, this should have done, this should have gone by that date, this date. No, don't do that. Make sure that you bring them into the, compliance. Then contractual liabilities I have listed down. Then this is fines and penalties. You might have not gone through these, my dear friends. You see, Section 8, change of name, the secretaries is getting fined about 50,000. Then Section 9, the public notice of name. When you come to the name, you must understand the company, the name, and also the number of the company. All the document should display, all the documents, even printed, even in your check your company name and also your number should be displayed. So those are legal requirement where we have seen of some of the check books coming out of the private limited liability company, public limited company, the name of the company or the number of the company, it is not there. Right, and those are actually not exceeding 50,000. You can see the fine amount, how much is charging for the company secretary. And the Section 10 says change of name and the name upon the change of status. I have listed down. These are very important areas where most of the company incorporators, they don't know these areas. Being the company secretary on the forms, only they know that, and after that, later on, they realize that when the charge coming out, these charges should be actually paid off. And sometimes they need to pay. They go for the jail even, some of the cases, like Section 15 say amendment of articles, not exceeding 50,000. Again, Section 18, a copy of the articles, then it is again 200,000. Right of the shareholders. The shareholders has a right. Some of the article change shareholders not receiving, different kinds of diplomatic arrangement. Things are there, but they don't get the copy of the article, and as a result, if someone sue, then the director sue, then they are liable for not exceeding 200,000 rupees. You must be very careful on those type of business arrangement. I know we are very smart on these areas, but not some other good areas. So therefore, you must be very careful, friends, to concentrate on these aspects also. Sections also in the companies have to read and understand and follow it up. And the issue of shares, 50,000 again, reduction, again 50,000, company not acquire, redeem its own shares again. If we are not following the contents in the section, the procedure, these fines, it will account for you. Then the duties of company respect to the issue share certificate. I said that within 2 months, share certificate should be issued. If not, 1,000. I know that transfer of shares document done, and the next annual return when it comes, if they are waiting. They are waiting, next annual return only update and submit to the ROC. Then they know that share. So you must issue share certificates, and if not, so you are liable. And the debentures, then the property acquired, again 50,000. Then the form of records, inspection of company records by shareholder. Then the public records. Then the duty. Okay, this section 148. You see, Section 148, duty to in 200,000 rupees. Again, officers and the company. What do you mean that? The company secretary is responsible to see whether the accounts are maintaining and the relevant records are maintaining, relevant source of documents are maintaining in respect of company. And if not, the company secretaries are liable. So these are some of the applicable forms 1, 3, 6, 13. 6 is for the notice of issue shares, annual return. So I don't have time, I think, my friends, now 4:25. And thank you, and we will take it up questions. I'm sorry I ran through. I know that all members are well aware about these things, but I shared the experience and knowledge what I have gathered, and also I'm most welcome you all over to answer any questions. And also after this session, even you can call and share our knowledge and do the right business and right manner. Thank you, Johnny. Over to you.
Hi, Saman. Thanks a lot for that insightful session. We learned a lot about the secretarial practice, and I really like the way that you articulated about the importance of the role, where you said a secretary is like someone who provides the birth certificate to a company, and you emphasized on the importance of the role. You compared it with kind of a marriage where you have to keep the confidentiality of the company information, and from the dressing sense up to the level of professionalism, how a secretary should be behaving and what kind of image that the secretary is being portraying to the directors is being well articulated. Someone, I hope the audience benefited from the session today. So I'll take up the questions in the order in which that came. There are a pile of questions. There's a question that says, can the same practitioner act as an auditor as well as the secretary in the same company?
Very good question. Actually, it's impair the independence, and the auditor cannot be the company secretary. You can remember the first slides. Is an administrator. It's a compliance officer, and he or she is a operator of the company. So when making if the auditor is involving financial and operating policies of the company, it's impair the independence. So therefore, the answer is not.
And then the second set of questions, this is more about the $50,000 minimum investment, where someone wants to know the USD minimum investment regulation. It's still not gazetted? The only direction available is the notice at the ROC website. Investors do not have any direction from a valid source at CSC. And also they want to know about further information about whether this is applicable to
the entire scenario is right. It is true, but I don't know, very unfortunate actually. It is not there. It is not gazetted. It's a notice. I can't tell names. If privately, if someone come who is really interesting, I can help. They have actually put up 50,000. This is a lot of scenarios behind Jani, because of the lack of foreign currency we have, and also the banking process to not to actually promote them, and also they bring money to Sri Lanka and they trying to take it back, that money. So likewise, there is a rule, unless you give 50,000, actually it cannot proceed the incorporation, especially the foreign companies. It is true. If need further details to whom need to talk to and all these things can actually share, not in this public domain, but privately I can share the knowledge.
And then there's a question, as you pointed out, we would like to know the difference between SIA and IIA accounts when foreigners' investments coming to Sri Lanka.
Yeah, true. That actually SIA investment account is the SIA. Now initial investment account is, this is just a change of name, Jani. Earlier it was SIA investment account. When the foreign company comes to Sri Lanka or the shareholders coming to Sri Lanka, they should bring money through this bank account. Otherwise, they cannot take it back to their home countries by way of dividend and all. So they need to bring money through the SIA investment account. Now it says initial investment account, and it's a change of the name, and the involvement is when come to the foreign involvement, take it back, and they need to maintain the discipline. Only this account, the money bringing in and taking back.
Let me quickly move on to the next question. How do we act if someone asks support to register a company with a nominee shareholder when the actual owner does not involve directly?
I must tell you, this is what I highlighted. I don't think that it is a very good initiative to incorporate unless you know people. Again, some of the fund transfers, when asked to bring to the country, you don't know from where it is coming, and according to the foreign exchange rules, you are liable, being the company secretaries. So nominees. And also then there is a long process about the power of attorney and all these things. So it's a quite difficult, but I would say just get understanding and then go ahead with the incorporation. But nominee also might have some sort of the information like passport, identity card, all these things you might have, so therefore you need to go through these details. Actually, these are sessions, and also these are things we are really experiencing at the moment because of this foreign currency matter. There are a lot of funds are coming to incorporate the company, but you make sure that you are covered with ethical framework, not only by the central bank regulations and also the exchange control regulation, but also by the code of conduct of chartered institute.
Sure. And also the next question is about, is it mandatory to register an audit firm with the register of companies? Normally, part qualified persons are registering at ROC as registered auditors. Explain why.
What is the question? I didn't hear you, John.
The question is about whether it's mandatory for an audit firm to be registered with registrar of companies.
Yeah. Now, when a audit firm signed accounts, they need to, I think last one also I explained, they should get a accountant certificate. They issue accountant certificate based on, now you cannot register a audit firm unless you don't have a chartered accountant.
That's right.
Right? You need to sign the audited accounts. No, to sign the audited accounts, there should be an auditor. So auditor should have a practicing certificate issued from the Chartered Institute of Sri Lanka. With that practicing certificate, you need to get the accountant certificate from the Registrar of Company. With all these things, you are eligible to sign the accounts of public. And registering an organization is a different thing. According to the Pradesh Sabha, there are rules and regulations. You need to register that as a business, either proprietorship or partnership.
That's right. And then as per the Institutes Act, non-citizen members can't practice, but there is no restriction for non-residents. Can you please clarify this matter?
Jani, okay. As per the Institute Act, non-citizen members can't practice. Okay, then non-citizen, yeah, we are actually even the last time I took you through this. Actually, we are discussing, but there is no restrictions for non-residents, non-citizens, non-residents. You are talking about this according to the Inland Revenue Act. This is according to the Inland Revenue Act. So therefore, actually, we are going through. There are a lot of audit firms here, and they have registered the audit firm as a business. But the businesses are coming from Australia or somewhere, and the trainees are here in the country, and there is no chartered accountant in the business, and chartered accountant is in overseas, right? But when you come to a practice, in common practice, when you get the accounts audited and also training and also the review of these financial statements, there should be a close relationship, and also there should be a monitoring, close monitoring process. But when you come to the business here, register a business with a non-citizen chartered accountant, and also non-citizen chartered accountant. Actually, we are discussing. Actually, at the moment, I may not be able to answer. I will get back to you on that question, because we are on the process of discussion. Because there are a lot of chartered accountants now are in overseas, and it's a good process of business because we are receiving foreign currency, right? And also we are receiving good businesses, our staff to actually do their training, and our staff getting opportunity to go overseas also. So we encourage these businesses, but we will bring very soon the legal mechanism in place.
There's another question. Someone wants to know, what are the responsibilities and obligations of a secretary in a single director company if that director is deceased? Director is deceased. Yes.
Yeah. Now, yeah, very good question. This is very good question. Now I have seen, my dear friends, it talks about in the article of association. It says in the Companies Act, right? In the company's article of association, it says how many directors should be there in the company to be operated. So then you need to, if there are two directors, if one director has deceased, you need to discuss with the shareholders of the company what is going to be done. Now, secretary also a representative or sort of a director of the company. I have come across, which I couldn't actually take you through. There are a lot of companies, auditors, audit firms, where we have seen secretary has placed their signature on the income tax return, which should not be done. Which should not be done. You are suiciding yourself. Make sure you allow the directors to sign. If the directors are not there, make arrangement according to the article of association. It is laid down in the article of association. If one director not there, it says the procedure. Otherwise, follows the company's act. Out of this question, actually, I'm really happy, Johnny, whoever who brought up, make sure that you should not sign on behalf of any other people income tax return of the company which you have already audited, although you are not a director of that company or whatever. You don't allow your secretary people to sign that return of income and submit to the department. You are in very much big trouble when the assessment comes, and also if assessment goes to the Court of Appeal, you are in really trouble. So therefore, make sure that you should not do these things type of very, 30th November, everyone is busy and they are trying just place the signature and sending away. Don't do this, and make sure that and other person who asked the question follow the article of association, and otherwise follow the company's act.
That's right. So it's clearly there's a clear difference between the role played by secretary and the director. So the secretaries should be aware of their own set of responsibilities.
Yeah, Johnny, you don't know, some of the directors are not willing to even send an email confirming that, can you please go ahead, and I may not be able to come because of pandemic, I stuck here like that. The directors are reluctant to send an email, at least from the smartphone they can send. It says why the company secretaries is getting in all this trouble.
Sure, yes. So this question is about what's your opinion on companies which began incorporation business on very low cost, and are they following the relevant procedures as company secretaries?
I'm not quite sure whether they are quite competent, first of all, before the procedure they follow and all, whether they are quite competent. So this is a big loophole we are discussing with the registrar of companies at the company registrar at the moment. Now we need to bring this, these are, they actually 2018 they brought up with the incorporation beginning, and then now only they are actually 2020 return submitted process, all now everything done. Now actually only the EROC is really happening now. So I think we need to everyone is accessing using the others passwords and all logging details. So actually we are now getting the legal procedures done. So we actually working on this thing, the cost and the competence and also the procedures, as I clearly explained. It's not really a business to earn money, this type of legal process of work, but you need to, it's independent to the people and also independent to the, body of corporates, how they are going to perform. Some of the companies actually at a cheaper price, they are getting service and doing sometimes nothing. And also they are getting in trouble, right? Some of the forms are not done properly. And then only they realize and how they have done and all. Even when I went to Matara, one of our colleagues has incorporated a company, and the person doesn't know how to prepare the resolution to open the bank account. Now the SME gentleman coming and telling me, and I got the phone call also from the our member that Mr. Saman, there is a call and coming, and they are going to come and complain to the institute and all. Exactly the person who was there at the SME that seminar or whatever the presentation I had, he brought up the issue. What has happened? The person, our member, is not quite competent to prepare that resolution to give to the client. So then the client is asking, I have given everything. I have paid, say 35,000. I have paid 30,000. The man is not giving my resolution to open up the bank account. Therefore, I may not be able to bring the money. May not be able to operate the transaction. So all these things, Johnny, based on the competence and also, the ethical framework and, background we are individually having. We must understand this.
That's correct. Yes. So we have last few questions here. A company which is having foreign shareholders as per Form 1, but share certificate not issued and funds not received for shares. Directors have decided to wind up this company. What are the issues they will face during the winding up process?
Come on, Johan, you're asking this question, right? Very good. Now, this is now shareholder. Form 1 is there, right? And Form 1 is there, but no share certificate. Now, if there is no share certificate, who is going to take over the share certificate? Who is the bearer? Who is having the share certificate? Who is the bearer in share certificate? Is entitled. It's a negotiable instrument. So you must get the share certificates, and the directors have decided to wind up. How can they wind up unless they get that share certificate? I can give my personal opinion. If Johan, I will talk to you. You can talk to me. I will explain that you need to go back to the secretary, or you need to appoint a temporary secretary and need to get the share certificate issued, and the procedure should backward do that from the process. First of all, do that, and thereafter follow the winding up procedure. It's not a just cannot close the company winding up. There is a cease of operations or cease of name. There is a procedure to be followed. That procedure you must follow. You cannot just go and close the business like, close the shop.
And then also the documents for winding up a foreign branch registered in Sri Lanka. Anything extra?
Yes.
That this
Now, what are the documents needed to find up? Now, first of all, we need to get the reason winding up from the parent company where it is the branches is situated. Maybe because some of the branches they opened up for the specific purpose. Now, I have come across this type of business. They have come here to put the highway, right? And they do only those road constructions only. And they incorporate as a branch in Sri Lanka, and after a certain period of time, and because they have the responsibility, we need to get the tax clearance, we need to get the consent from the Indian Revenue Department, they need to get the forms completed from the Registrar of Companies. We need to, first of all, we need to get the minutes and the article, the consent from the directors in the parent company. So there is a procedure to follow. Minimum documents those are, and after you submit all these things to the Registrar of Companies, the procedure you will submit to the Registrar of Company. It doesn't mean the clearance has given. It will take 1 year to close those process, because Indian Revenue should give the clearance like our company ceases operation. Same thing will applicable for the other than that some foreign documents we need to get. And then only that the cease of operations will be closed out, and also liquidation procedure can be carried out.
What is the quorum for a single shareholder company?
Very good company. Very good question. Very good question. Now, if there are it should says in the article of association what should be the quorum when you come to the single shareholder company. Article of association will lay down how much is the quorum.
And then, okay, interesting. Someone wants to know what are the courses available for secretaries?
Oh my dear, there are a lot. If actually share the mobile number, and the Chartered Secretaries Institute is there. There are so many courses. Niroshi will be able to handle this question, Jani.
Sure. And then the last one, can we get blank share certificates from ROC?
Blank share certificates from ROC? According to my understanding, share certificates, blank share certificate, no, I don't think. No experience. Sorry, I'll look at it.
So that's all about the questions that we've got from the audience today, Saman, as we are running out of time. Session has been really insightful. I learned a lot. I'm sure the audience also benefited. So if any one of you have any further matters to be clarified, I'm sure you have Mr. Saman's contact details. He's always reachable. He's always very helpful and friendly to all of us. So we can easily reach to him and get anything clarified, that anything in deeply, that if there's something that for you to get further clarified. So with that note, I hope that we can wind up the session for the day. And we are hoping to see you with the next session, the 5th webinar series soon, with another speaker. So up until then, goodbye, everyone. Stay safe. Thank you so much, Saman. We'll see you soon again.
Thank you, Jani. Thank you so much. And stay safe. See you soon.
Goodbye, everyone.
Good.